The girl ate a special pill to become a zombie. Hello all. This is Jacobson and this is a brief retelling of the 15th and 16th episodes of the 7th season of the zombie series The Walking Dead. You can see the previous episodes at the links in the video description. As soon as this video gets 300 likes, I will release the next part. Enjoy watching it.
After Tara tells Rick about the arsenal in Oceanside, they lead a group of Alexandrians to a remote settlement. Meanwhile, a herd of walkers makes their way along the coastline towards Oceanside. At the hilltop, Maggie gives Eduardo farming tips. Gregory watches their communication. He hears Eduardo calling Maggie the boss lady, and learns that Maggie is planning to transplant a blueberry bush from behind the gates of the Hilton. She explains that blueberry bushes can bear fruit for more than 40 years and that they should start behaving as if they will live for as long. Outside of Oceanside, the survivors are putting their plan into action. Michonne climbs a tree with a rifle at the ready and takes up his post. Jesus and Daryl set explosives, and Aaron and Eric continue to observe. In a bittersweet exchange, Eric explains that he finally understood Aaron's determination to fight the Saviors. Jesus expresses regret for Rosita and Sasha, reproaching himself for not stopping their attack on Negan. Daryl assures Jesus that Sasha is a good shooter and suggests that they can return to the Hilton. In the shelter, David opens the door to Sasha's cell. Sasha is lying on the ground, her hands and feet are tied. When she asks for water, David awkwardly approaches her and rudely says he will give her water if she has sex with him, and then tears her shirt. Sasha hits him with his head, knocking him down. Angry, David unbuttons his trousers. At this moment, Negan appears and angrily asks what David is doing. He correctly guesses that David is trying to rape Sasha. He furiously reminds David that rape is forbidden in the asylum. When David tearfully apologizes, Negan stabs him in the neck, refusing to accept his apology. Negan apologizes for David's behavior and also for tying her up. Negan orders the Savior to bring her a new shirt. He recognizes her as one of Rick's people and asks if it was Rick's idea. Sasha assures Negan that Rick didn't send her to kill him. Negan, impressed that Sasha is a woman with a hello, asks her to join the Saviors. He unties her wrist, gives her his knife and offers his proposal. She may not use the knife, allowing David to come alive and kill her, or she may save herself and use the knife against David, but she will have to join the case of Negan. He leaves the cell. Later Eugene brings Sasha a blanket and a pillow. He explains that he has never been so scared as that night in the van in the woods. He joined Negan so that he would never experience such feelings again. He advises her to do the same. Sasha orders him to leave. After Eugene leaves, David begins to come to life. Gregory joins Maggie as she uproots a blueberry bush outside the walls of the hilltop. He invites them to present a united front to society. Maggie agrees to consider his offer. He considers killing Maggie while her back is turned, but eventually decides not to. A walker appears from the forest. Gregory rushes at him, but retreats at the last moment. Maggie kills the walker, while the second walker attacks Gregory. A passing group of hilltop residents witness Maggie rescuing Gregory. One of the residents notices that Gregory exaggerated his experience of killing walkers. In Oceanside, Tara breaks into Natania's house and holds her and Cindy at gunpoint. She explains that her group is taking their weapons to fight the Saviors. She begs them to talk to Rick and join their resistance. Nada does not refuse. Rick's group sets off explosives at the walls of Oceanside. Daryl and Jesus capture Katie by Beatrice, and the rest of the residents escape. Tanya feigns injury, distracting Tara and giving Cindy enough time to grab the hidden gun. Tara points the gun at Cindy, but Tanya grabs her. While Cindy holds her at gunpoint, Tara reveals that her own gun was not loaded. Lick and the rest of the group gather the residents of Oceanside. The face assures them that it is not going to harm anyone. Then Natania appears, holding Tara at gunpoint. Cindy tells her people that Rick's group wants to fight the Saviors. Beatrice offers them to join the fight, but Tanya refuses, not wanting to lose more people because of the Saviors. Michonne warns Rick about the approach of walkers. Cindy knocks out Tanya. Enid, who was standing behind Netania, aiming a pistol and preparing to shoot, looks at what is happening in shock. Rick's group and the Oceansiders organize a combined defense that allows them to effectively destroy the walkers. Beatrice shakes Rick's hand. Netanya angrily concedes, allowing Rick's group to take their weapons, but she is still categorically against the battle. Negan opens the door to Sasha's cell and sees a knife sticking out from behind David's forehead. "You won," Sasha says, agreeing to join him. Negan takes the knife and says that Sasha must once again convince him of her loyalty. He tells her that he knows Rick is plotting against him and that he plans to enlist her help to stop him. Back at his office, Gregory pulls Simon's handwritten note out of his shirt pocket. He studies the map of local roads, then calls Kala. He tells Cal to pack a bag and get ready to take him somewhere. Eugene enters Sasha's cell and assures her that she made the right choice. Sasha sobs through the door, convinced that she made the wrong decision. She worries that she will be used as a weapon against Rick's group. She begs Eugene to bring a weapon, a knife, a pistol, or a blade, so that she can commit suicide before Negan uses her against their friends. He agrees to consider her request. But in the camera, determination appears on Sasha's face as she plays her game. Residents of Oceanside watch as Rick's group leaves with weapons. Gabriel asks if they need to take all the guns, and Rick insists that it is necessary. Cindy informs Tara that Natalia has forbidden her community to fight with the Saviors. She thanks Tara for what her band is doing. Eugene knocks on Sasha's cell door and hands her the suicide pill he prepared for Frankie and Tanya. Sasha despairs when she realizes that he has not brought her a weapon that she could use against Negan. Rick's group returns to Alexandria late at night. Rosita opens the gate for them. Jesus asks about Sasha, but Rosita doesn't answer. She tells them they have a guest. Rosita leads Rick's group to a cell in the Alexandria prison. Dwight is behind bars. Daryl lunges at Dwight, but Rick and Michonne hold him back. Rosita says Dwight wants to help. "Okay," Rick says. He points the gun at Dwight and orders him to kneel. In a dark, enclosed space, Sasha struggles to maintain consciousness. Music echoes in her headphones as she finally falls asleep. In the flashback, Sasha sleeps on the couch. Abraham finds her and says Maggie needs medical attention, and he accompanies Rick's group on their hike to the hilltop to get her to the doctor. Sasha asks him to stay. In the present, Negan brings a tray of food to Sasha's cell. He assures her that she should not die that day, but warns that someone from Rick's group may die. She asks him what he wants from her. In another flashback, Sasha is sitting next to Maggie in a field. In a cell at Alexandria prison, Rick and the group interrogate Dwight. Tara furiously chastises him for killing Denise, to which he replies that she was not his target. In response, Daryl pushes Dwight against the wall and holds him under a knife. Dwight insists that he is on their side and offers to work with them, saying that the only reason he stayed with the Saviors, Sherry, is now gone. Tara tells Daryl to kill him, but he refuses. Dwight warns the group that Negan will arrive in Alexandria the next day with 3 trucks and at least 20 rescuers. Dwight presents his plan. He offers to attack Negan and his team while they are in Alexandria. From there, Dwight will be able to radio the shelter and let them know that everything is fine. The Saviors will be caught off guard when Rick and the group arrive there using the Saviors' own trucks. Once inside, they will be able to rally the workers, destroy the Saviors and destroy their other outposts one by one. Dwight returns to the shelter after Rick's group agrees to his plan. Daryl vows to kill Dwight after the battle ends. Sasha continues to listen to music through headphones. In the continuation of the previous flashback, Sasha tells Abraham that she had a dream in which he died. In the present, Negan tells Sasha how he plans to use her in an attack on Alexandria. He insists on the execution of 3 people, but Sasha persuades him to 1. In the flashback, Sasha and Maggie continue to look at the field. In the present, Maggie discusses Rick's plan with Jesus and Enid. She is considering their options and is thinking about joining the fight in Alexandria. Jesus remarks that he is glad that it is she who makes difficult decisions. Gregory is noticeably absent. Carol leads the regiment from the kingdom towards Alexandria. They reach the trolley blockade previously installed by Richard. It has been changed. Morgan appears, still emotionally unstable, and swears to hunt down the saviors alone. Nokia convinces him to fight on their side. He joins them as they walk towards Alexandria. Scavengers are staying in Alexandria. Rick meets Jedis at the gate. She rudely proposes to Rick, but is quickly rebuffed. Daryl, Rosita, and Aaron plant explosives in an empty truck at the gates of Alexandria. Meanwhile, Negan's team is working to remove the felled trees blocking the road, delaying their arrival in Alexandria. This is a distraction tactic secretly employed by Dwight. Eugene asks Negan for permission to address the scream and try to defuse the situation before resorting to military action. Back in Alexandria, Scavenger watches Tara as she helps set up a blockade outside the gate. On the balcony, Michonne gives sniper instructions to Ferran the Scavenger and hands her a sniper rifle. "We won," says Farron Mitchell. Sasha listens to music with headphones. She struggles to keep her eyes open. In the flashback, Sasha tells Abraham about his dream. They were on the beach, he went under the water and did not come up. Abraham jokes that he hates the beach and gets up to go to Hilltop. Sasha again asks them to wait out this time. Earlier, Negan and the Saviors mobilize to attack Alexandria. In the cell, Eugene tells Sasha that she has changed her mind about the pill. He assures her that she will get used to life in the shelter. "No, not like you," she says. In the flashback, Maggie and Sasha watch the sunrise. The Scavenger notifies everyone in Alexandria of the arrival of the Saviors. Rick takes a position at the main gate, and Jedi crouches at his feet, hidden from prying eyes. The caravan of Negan arrives. Eugene comes out and tries to convince Rick to give up. Rick hesitates, struck by Eugene's betrayal, and asks where Negan is. "I'm a Negan," Eugene replies. Then Rick gives Rosita the signal to activate the explosives. Rosita presses the detonator, but no explosion occurs. Before Rick can get his gun out, Jedis jumps to his feet and points his gun at Rick. At the same time, all the Scavengers point their weapons at the Alexandrians. Negan gets out of the truck and taunts Rick while his rescuers open the truck, which contains explosives. Brian opens the gates for the Saviors. Watching the situation unfold, Michonne tries to leave her balcony to help Rick, but Farron stops her, holding her at gunpoint. Simon and Dwight remove the coffin from the truck. Negan announces that Sasha is inside, alive and well. He offers to let her live if Rick gives up all their weapons, lemonade and pool equipment and Daryl. Even so, Negan executes one Alexandrian of Rick's choice with Lucille's help. If he refuses, Negan will kill them all. Rick insists on meeting Sasha. Negan knocks Lucille on the coffin. Earlier, Sasha listens to music with headphones. In the flashback, she and Abraham kiss. He reminds her that the life they give for others is what they do, and that Maggie and her baby are the future. Sasha agrees, admitting guilt for his previous words about Maggie. They embark on a doomed journey to Hilltop. While Negan's group mobilizes to attack Alexandria, Sasha clarifies from Eugene that the journey to the destination will take a couple of hours. Eugene gives her an iPod with headphones. Sasha tells Negan that he wants to go to Alexandria in a coffin to be able to rest. She asks for a bottle of water. Negan sincerely thanks her for taking his side. Inside the coffin, Sasha chooses a song on the iPod. When a song starts playing on the iPod, after a short thought, she puts a suicide pill in her mouth and washes it down with water. In the present, Negan opens the coffin door. Sasha, now a walker, rushes at him, knocking him off the platform. Rick's group, taking advantage of the horror that has arisen, directs weapons at the Scavengers. Those who stand on guard posts open fire on the rescuers outside. Michonne fights with the headlight on the balcony. In the chaos, Rosita is injured, and soon after she is taken away by Tara. Rick tries to join the fight, but Jedi holds him at gunpoint. Meanwhile, Roy removes the zombified Sasha from Negan, but then she devours Roy's face while Negan and Simon hide from the shots behind the truck. Negan shouts to Simon that they need to put Plan B into action. Rick tries to make another deal with Jedis, but she shoots him in the side and pushes him off the platform. On the balcony, Farn picks up and brutally beats Michonne, and then pushes her to the edge, and they fight. In the streets below, rescuers and scavengers have taken control of the situation, several Alexandrians have been killed, and several are in custody. Jedis leads Rick to Negan and orders him to kneel next to Carl, who is surrounded by more than a dozen rescuers. She reminds Negan of their deal: 12 people in exchange for the scavengers' help in the attack. Negan quickly persuades her to reduce the number to 10. Rick and Carl watch in horror as Michonne's body falls to the ground from the balcony pole. Negan vows to kill Carl and destroy Rick's hands with Lucille's help as punishment for Rick's collusion. Rick swallows his fear and furiously repeats his promise to kill Negan, despite his threats. Negan looks at him for a moment and then smiles. While Negan is preparing to strike Carl with Lucille's help, Shiva jumps on a scavenger standing nearby. Carol and Ezekiel go on the attack at the head of the kingdom's regiment, and Maggie stays with the hilltop fighters. A battle ensues as the saviors and scavengers are caught off guard. Rick and Carl get into a fight. Negan orders a retreat when Shiva stabs another of his men to death. To his fury and surprise, he sees Maggie, alive and unharmed, leading the hilltop warriors. The fight becomes hectic, and many saviors and scavengers die. Morgan throws away his empty gun and starts killing with his staff, joining Rick. United communities successfully push back their opponents. Scavengers release smoke bombs and escape in the smoke by climbing the walls and running out through the gates on foot. Negan and his men leave in their cars, being shelled. Before leaving, Negan defiantly shows the attackers the middle finger. Rick and Carl rush to where Michonne was last seen and, to their relief, find Farr's corpse on the ground where they expected to find Michonne. They find her inside, badly beaten, barely conscious. Rick gently hugs her. Back at the shelter, Simon and Dwight inform Negan that preparations are underway for Plan B. Negan asks Eugene how Sasha managed to die in a coffin. Eugene assumes that she has run out of air. Negan is doubtful, but admits that it is possible. Then Negan addresses his rescuers gathered in the courtyard. "We are going to war," he announces, and the crowd, numbering more than 130 people, unanimously replies, "Yes, sir." Maggie and Jesus track down the zombified Sasha in the forest. Maggie cries as Jesus pins Sasha to the ground so Maggie can stab her, which she does moments later. At the cemetery, Gabriel directs Sasha's funeral. The members of Alexandria, Hilton, and Kingdom celebrate their victory. Carol is sitting on the porch with Morgan, who seems to have a clearer head now. Daryl finds one of Dwight's wooden figurines hidden at the entrance gate. On the reverse side he sees the inscription "Did not know." In the infirmary, Tara sits next to Rosita, and Rick holds Michonne's hand while she lies in bed. Maggie proudly tells Rick that she is not responsible for the events that saved Alexandria. It all started from the beginning when Glenn made the decision to save Rick in a tank in Atlanta. It was this heroic choice that paved the way for everything that followed. In the flashback, Maggie and Sasha continue to sit in the field, watching the sunrise. They turn to each other and smile. Rick, Maggie and Ezekiel stand on the podium and address the crowd as leaders of their communities, united and ready for war.